Hello friends, I'm Mike the Gamer Guy, and welcome to a look at a piece of video game history long forgotten. And that piece is the Tiger Electronics R-Zone. Now, what this basically is it's one of those Tiger LCD games, only made it into its own proprietary system, pretty much. And for those of you who don't know what I'm referring to, I'm going to put some images here of like the Mega Man 2 and Castlevania LCD games, so you kind of get an idea what they look like. In a way, they're sort of analogous to Game & Watch, only of inferior quality, in my opinion. Also, before we go any further, I should mention that this was actually a gift from a friend, so I'd like to thank them right now too. Alright. So, this is the R-Zone. It's ostensibly a handheld, but in a way, it's sort of not. It's definitely nothing that you would want to play in public, if I'm correct on how you're supposed to hold this. As you can see, there's a strap, which I'm guessing goes over your head or something. Not something you'd want to be seen with walking around town. It also has a controller coming off of it, hardwired into it, so if this thing breaks, unless you're very proficient in electronics, you're going to have quite a problem replacing it. But I think it goes something like this, and you put this around your neck. I'll attempt to put it on, but I really don't think... Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how you put this thing on. But it definitely has to be worn, otherwise there's just no way you can effectively play this thing. Also, I think mine is missing a glass piece of some sort that goes in front of this. That way it sharpens the game image, but I'm not entirely sure. Speaking of games, this is what one looks like. This is Indy 500. It's by Sega, actually, so we have an actual company producing games for this. Or at least licensing them, or whatever. So, yeah, this is what they look like. They're little LCD-type games. Wrong way. Just pop them into the R-Zone, and it should boot up here. Yep, just like that. Light is shine from the back of the system to illuminate the screen for us. Though it's still pretty hard to see what's going on. That might be due to the brightness or the fact that I don't have that piece, but you can adjust the brightness, thankfully, on the controller, and we'll get into the controller in a bit. But yeah, that's what you're looking at for an R-Zone. Not exactly up to snuff with Game Boy, I'd say, graphically. But yeah, that's what you can expect from it. I've tried to play this, kind of try and give you an idea of what's going on here, but I really don't know what's going on, so yeah, there's that. As far as I've played, I just sort of go down a straight road until it starts to make weird noises, and then I turn it off. But alright, moving on to the controller, take a look at this. We've got the standard D-pad convention for any video game console. You have an on switch, which turns on the R-Zone itself. The R-Zone also turns on, I don't know if you noticed, when a cartridge is placed on the top. You have start, select, sound, pause, and off. You have buttons A through D, which is interesting because I don't think I've seen another controller with a D button, so that's interesting. You also have a cartridge storage slot on the top, so let's say you have Indy 500 and one of the Star Wars games, which was made for R-Zone. You can put one in there, and you can swap them out, you know, when you want to switch games, which is pretty nice, actually. Appreciate that. Going back to the A through D buttons, you might notice that they're sort of oddly designed, as in, like, you have two buttons occupying one toggle switch-esque sort of thing. A little bit odd. Interesting, though, I think. And then on the bottom you have brightness and volume. And I think that's pretty much all that needs to be said about the R-Zone. Here you have the speaker here, I don't know if you can tell. And yeah, kind of a strange design, but interesting, definitely. Alright, well, there you go. That was the Tiger Electronics R-Zone. Thank you for joining me, and hope to see you again.